Hey Teresa, can you still hear me? My internet connection is dodgy. I don't know if anybody's still there or not. Shit. Ugh, I hate when this happens. This is why I don't like doing these during at night, because the internet drops all the time. It drives me nuts. Hey Jen Nichols, how are you? Hey Marge. Sorry guys, it's my internet. It sucks. I want to try and get Teresa's done because I know that Teresa. Hey Jennifer Heaton, it's my internet, guys. I'm so sorry. It's just my internet at night is just shit. Hey Sonia Serna, how are you? What is this text message? Hey Patricia Brigham. So I know, right? I don't have Comcast, Brittany. It's not very Comcastic. You're right. It's fucking annoying, is what it is. It drives me nuts. It's been going on since COVID, and it's like every night it just the signal drops. It pisses me off. So and I call them, and then they were supposed to come out twice last week, and they didn't because they're dicks, and they're still charging me the same amount of money, and I've stopped broadcasting at night for this very reason because I end up with 3 videos for one charm session for an hour on my YouTube. It drives me fucking nuts. Now I need to make sure that Teresa found her way back because Teresa just paid me for charming. And I don't know if Mary's back yet either. I know I have Melinda. They've given me credits here and there, but it's annoying because I want to work. Like, this is the thing. Like, I hate it when I'm doing the broadcast and then I lose my whole audience and you guys have to find your way back to me. It drives me nuts. It's not conducive to like doing readings at night. And it's like, I mean, I pay like $80 a month for this crap. It's expensive. So it's kind of why I've sort of like cut down on my nighttime video schedule just because I'm not able to retain a signal for more than, maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes, and then it starts dropping. It may drop a few more times before this is over. I'm just hoping that Teresa comes back into the room. I don't know where she is. Oh, there she is. Okay, good. All right, so Teresa, you're back. I'm going to do yours. Uh, what do you want your reading on? I did get the payment, Teresa. So I just need to know what you want your reading on and I'll do it. Yeah, I'm gonna clear the board, Mary. So it's the same, it's like, I think that you fought, like, essentially what I'm getting from these charms is that this was a life where you were very strong in your convictions for what you believed in. And that even though you suffered quite a bit in this lifetime, you still stood true to what you knew to be true in your heart. And that was very important and a source of power and strength for you. That's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting from these charms. That's the take home of this. So whenever you're like wavering in your faith right now, maybe in this lifetime, I would go deep into your heart and find the answers within there because you have suffered, or not suffered, but you have weathered worse in previous lifetimes and stood strong with less resources, if that makes sense, in a more, say, brutal time. Uh, Teresa, yes, a general would cover that. We could do general love. So I'm going to go for general love. Let me switch cameras really quick. Okay. Teresa for general love. Okay, Teresa, let's see what you've got going on, girl. We've got an E. We've got an I. E-I-E-I-O. Let me say, it's an I. All right, so this is a total number 3. Threes usually represent, to me, sort of collaboration or celebration. When I'm looking at all of this, the first thing that comes to my mind right now, Teresa, hey, Queen Kimmy, how are you? The first thing that comes to my mind is this positive orange, yeah, but it's kind of in the present time, like in the conscious mind, but in the past. So I feel like there was a lot of energy for you. There was a lot of opportunity for you. When we're looking at love or we're looking at the near future, I feel like you were more buoyant or more available to love or the idea of love. I think that you were more, this speaks to being more optimistic and energized by it. Then we have the lovers here, right? They're kind of in this post-coital, see how the bodies are kind of together. Try not to get your minds out of the gutter, people. But to me, this is not like necessarily a bad way for it laying, but it does feel a little bit upside down. So I kind of feel like there might have been somebody that you were sort of connected to, certainly passionately, I would say would be the connection here. It might have even been more of a sexual nature, but it feels passionate to me. It feels bonded, and this might have also been why this felt energized. I feel like this may no longer be in place. And the reason why is we have Mary flipped over and face down. And that to me feels like maybe you. It feels like maybe in this relationship, if this relationship broke off or ended at some point, I feel like you might have gotten a little bit knocked back by that. Does that make sense to you? I'm not sure if that makes sense to you, but I get this sort of sense that this Mary was sort of spun around, right? I feel like you're taking time right now. I feel like you're in a period of healing, and the reason why I feel that is we have this Reiki charm. This is, I believe this is long distance healing. I'm pretty sure this is long distance healing. And then you have this 4 on a green dice, and green represents usually money or healing for me. And so when we're talking about love, this is very much in your, if you split the board into 3s, we have conscious mind, and then this is in your present time space, which would be right down here, right? Sorry guys if I'm making it go a little bit blurry. So this to me, 4s always represent stability and health, right? This green would be like healing and creating stability in your life. So after whatever this breakup was in the past that maybe sent you spinning or made you question yourself or your own worth, I feel like this sort of healing is coming in, and this opportunity to sort of regain that that sense of self back, your own stability, feel like you're centered again, and bring back the power that is this divine feminine, right? That Mary represents, because Mary would represent the divine feminine. Bringing this back into play or into your awareness of who you are. Like I almost want to say to you, I feel compelled to say that it's not the relationship that defines you, even though at times relationships in the past have made you feel better about yourself. They are not the whole, complete, total, I want to say, like, they don't make you or break you, dear. Like, you already have this Mary going on for you, right? Like, you already are sort of the divine feminine. What you bring to the positivity and the sort of shiningness in this orange color to me speaks to this, like, you bring a lot to the table when you are in a relationship, and you can be like a shining bright light is a way that I'm kind of looking at this, especially with this yeah, like it's an affirmative yeah, and it's got this energy about it. And so when you are feeling good and wrapped up in a relationship that it's almost like I feel like you feel better when you can give to a relationship. But I think that right now with these 2 charms here, the relationship is to yourself. And so I think that as you gain this healing and this stability, right, you might be alone for a little bit, which is okay, because you're concentrating and you're putting the focus, excuse me, on yourself and reconnecting back with what is divine in you, right? This sort of loving, nurturing Mother Mary, right? Which is in every woman. That the essence of Mary can be found in anybody. It can be found in men too. I mean, it's not like it's just strictly to women, but I feel like this is about finding that and reconnecting with that, right? after the departure of whatever this sort of exciting, exhilarating period was. Sorry. Doesn't mean that we won't have exciting and exhilarating. Yes, this fucking camera. Sorry, guys. I'm the only reader that will swear like a trucker. So I feel like these are good charms. The other charm that you have going into the future is the faith charm. And it feels like this word faith is going straight off into the future. So it feels like you might be in a bit of a run, maybe a little bit of a dry spell. Or if you're dating, the dating, and this could be due to the pandemic, but the dating that you may experience might just only be that, which is just dating and getting your feet wet. I wouldn't be looking for like anything super committed right away, because I think that the work here is more on yourself, and that's a good thing. Moving into the future, down in the subconscious, we have some activity here in the future. And this feels like it says a wonderful journey is ahead. And this is on the clear charm. So this speaks to this idea of getting clear on the fact that this journey is wonderful, even if we're like doing it on our own, right? Like getting that sort of into our awareness. And then when we start to realize and get clear on that, and we kind of flip this belief into our subconscious, and we start to realize that everything we experience, even if we're not experiencing, say, anything, like, and I don't mean that you won't be experiencing anything, but what I am saying is if there's a period where you are in faith and you are kind of just loving on yourself for right now, that's completely fine. The more that you realize how wonderful that can be from a subconscious level, the more you're able to channel that into your third chakra, which is your solar plexus, which is where our energy management center is, right? This is where we can manifest from in a lot of ways. And so going into the future, as we move into the future from the subconscious, we're manifesting this idea that a wonderful journey lies ahead. We can bring just about anything to ourselves. Do I think that there's a period of time before you actually have that relationship or that bonded feeling again? Yes, I do. Only because A, this faith charm, and B, we have these charms in the future on the board, but they're also down in the subconscious, which means they need time to sort of percolate and kind of work their magic and start to manifest into the present time world out here, right? Like if this was a progression board that kept going, it would be somewhere out here where we would start to see the manifestations of these subconscious beliefs start to come into reality. But the beautiful thing is that if you concentrate on this stability and this healing, right, that's going on here right now in the present moment, and you're conscious and you're aware of it, you're meeting this Mary, right, or finding this divine feminine within you and honoring her instead of maybe questioning her or asking her, because I kind of get the feeling when she was like this, it's like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Why didn't that work? What did I do wrong? And I think that's the wrong question to ask. I feel like it maybe had nothing to do with you. And that's the realization that you'll like come into awareness with and reconnect to this divine feminine aspect of yourself through doing healing work and focusing on yourself and having that faith that it's all going to work out the way that it's supposed to. All of this is part of like a opportunity, right? And so, and then when we start to adapt that opportunity and the awareness and the clarity around that opportunity from a deep subconscious level, and we really start to believe it, we can then start to manifest it and run that through our third chakra and begin to really see that come into reality. Wonderful things start to surface and come at us. Hey Karen Stringer, how are you? So that's what I see for you. Do I see like, I kind of, I mean, I don't want to say that you're not going to fall in love, but I kind of feel like right now to me, these charms speak to more the idea of falling in love with oneself. And then having faith that from that place, we can then create something that's better suited for us. That's sort of the sense that I get from this. And you will be on a high again, probably at some point, right? That's this charm with this charm. But I think that you want to create it in a more stable, long-lasting sort of iteration. I hope that makes sense. Sorry I can't tell you that there's just going to be a line of guys. We took a month break late June till last Thursday. My dad died on that day and it reunited us. However, I feel I need to focus on myself first. Yes, that's totally right, Teresa. In order to help rebuild him and I, in a healthy way. We are back together, but I am approaching it differently and healing myself. I think that's a great idea, and I think that the focus should be on yourself. And also on, like, not putting her away, bringing her to the forefront, honoring yourself first. That's what Mary's about. So I think that you're right in line with that. And I think that having faith moving forward too, in whatever it is that you're doing for yourself and then possibly for the relationship, is only going to benefit you in the long run. It's only going to start to make you realize and get clear on what it is that you do want and how you want it, and then you can start to make it happen. Hey Kelly Talbot, how are you? You haven't gotten your July charming, dear. Well, that would be this charm. When you say, oh, I'm in love with this man, I can definitely see that there's a passion here. Oh, you've been busy at work? Well, it's probably good to be busy, I think. I hope you've been safe, Kelly. Are you at work now? Oh, okay. If you want to reach out to me, Kelly, one day when you're off work, I can do a charming for you on a different day when you're not working. Oh, you're not at work? It's up to you. It doesn't have to be tonight. If you're like overworking and stuff, we can always do it like off of a lot. It doesn't have to be on a live. If you need to do it separate, that's fine. Good. I'm glad you're safe. This could be the putting together of that marriage, Teresa. Because these are really positive, especially when they're down here in this idea of the subconscious. But I feel like you need to do this healing stuff for yourself so that you can get clear on this wonderful journey aspect and flip this wonderful journey, start to realize and appreciate it all really clearly, and then start to make that happen. So it's that belief that you say right there, yeah, I feel I will end up marrying him. It's already that's starting to get clear down here, right? This idea that, like, the things that you want, you can believe in them, focus on them, and have them. But you want to be in the best sort of, like, you know, frame of mind or heart or whatever, so that you can manifest them or create them in a way that's of the highest good for you. Yeah, we can do it tonight, Kelly. We can do it next. After I'm actually finished with this one for Teresa. Yes, that is true, Teresa. Kelly, what do you want yours to be on? And is Jen Nichols still here? I know that Jen Nichols, I don't know if Jen left again or if she, because I would love to get Jen done too. That would be Jen's for July, I think. And then the only person I didn't get to was Karen. I haven't seen Karen in ages. I hope she's okay. I should message her. Past life? Okay, Kelly, I'll do a past life for you. Awesome, Teresa. You have a great night too. Thank you. Thank you so much for purchasing Charming. All right, I'm going to clear the board. Okay. The Charming is $25. Okay. We have a D, we have a U, we have a K, and we have an X. It's 2, 3, 5 is 8, and 8 is 16, which would be a 7. Sevens are usually about change, just numerologically. Let me just look at this really quick. This feels really male to me too. I almost feel like this, I think it's this warrior charm right here. It's making me feel like this was a past life where you were a male. I feel like it's sort of, I don't think that it might be Asian, but I feel like it's almost like Genghis Khan, like the Mongols. I don't know why I'm feeling that. You have the alcohol charm, you have the very old key, you have the baby. I get this sense that the baby is up here, that like you wanted a child, or you maybe had a child. This child was very important to you. I don't know that this child survived. This is next to the heart chakra charm. This says, let me see what this says. It says, to get through the hardest journey and continue living, you need to take only one step at a time, but we must keep stepping. Chinese proverb. No wonder why I'm feeling that it's like Asian. It feels to me, this life feels like like the Mongols, like Genghis Khan. Like you might have been one of the people in his army, this warrior charm. I feel like you maybe had a child. I feel like this possibly broke your heart, the loss of this child. You also have the broken heart charm down here. I feel like you might have had a wife too and you lost the wife. I feel like there was a lot of kind of chaos going on in this life, even though there's not a lot of charms on the board. This idea of keeping stepping, to me, is like we kept moving and we kept moving forward. And what I saw in Mary's life, where she was more of this Viking person, because I saw her with long hair, and being more Nordic, this to me, it feels like you were more violent and aggressive. Like I feel like somewhere in this lifetime, when you lost the things that you loved, it harmed you, or it took a toll on you. It made it harder to sort of move forward, Kelly. It feels like it sort of, even this hug token that has the heart on it, it's crossed over by this charm, which is normally the charm for my original Aquarius charm. But the way that it's laying across this, it just feels like these lines are sort of squiggling across this hug token, like it's shutting off the love. Like you weren't able to allow it through. Let's see what this charm is. This is, what sign is this? Oh, this is Libra. But it's the sex side up. And like, to me, with the drinking and then the sex and the warrior, to me it was like, I feel like maybe you had a wife, you might have had a child, the child died, the wife maybe died in war or due to something kind of wrong, is sort of the feeling that I get. And I feel like you sort of struggled with that. So you did what you knew, like, which was to fight, to war, to pillage, to rape, to drink. You also have the guardian angel charm, but it's upside down. And I feel like maybe, quite possibly, you might have thrown your gods aside for having felt forsaken by them or not protected by them due to the loss of this child and maybe this love, like this significant other. And it's funny, this key makes me feel like, I don't know if you got captured at some point or jailed at some point towards the latter part of your life, or like the ending of your life in this lifetime, you were caught maybe in a war, you might have become a prisoner of war, you might have, somewhere on a battlefield, you were caught and locked up, is the feeling that I get from this key. You may have been like murdered, like after that point as a prisoner of war. They locked you up for a moment and then maybe ended your life, is my feeling. Um, the thing that, like, the sort of the idea, or what I feel like the essence of these charms is trying to say to me, is this idea of not letting loss sort of overtake us, right? Where Mary's was kind of the opposite. I kind of felt like if Mary had suffered in her lifetime, in the earlier part of this broadcast tonight, we had this sort of, she was also male and like this warrior, that kind of thing, but she didn't allow the sort of the losses to take hold, where I feel like here you maybe did. I'm not saying that you're doing that in this lifetime, but like if there's ever been issues with, say, sex or drinking or anything where you've put those things in place of healing the pain, I feel like these charms are reminding you that that didn't work in this lifetime. Don't do it again, kind of thing. So if there's anything that you struggle with or have struggled with in this lifetime that you've done differently, this is a testament to why you've done it differently and why it's important for you to have done it differently. Because it feels like in this life, even though you maybe learned a lot around destruction and power and things of that nature, you lost a lot in this lifetime. I almost kind of get the feeling that you were allowed more to be taken from you than you realized in the losing of this baby and possibly the losing of this wife or this woman. I feel like it sort of, you just kind of let it all go. And like taking each step, right, was hard for you to continue on. That's funny. Did a past life with Elias. He felt I lived in Russia. Well, I'm not sure where the Mongols are in Mongolia, right? And is Mongolia near Russia? I just kind of feel like this is sort of that period. I don't even know when the Genghis Khan was around, but I feel like it's not really like China, right? It's more like I feel like you're a Mongol, like in the sense that you have this kind of like plains-ish people, like the clothing to me appears plainish, like plains-ish, like on the plains country. It looks similar. I don't know if you're familiar with Game of Thrones, but the people that the Woman of Dragons was with, Daenerys, the first king that she married, those people, it's kind of like that sort of thing, but more, there might have been like snow involved, and it was more like lots of horseback riding. So that's why it takes me to like Genghis Khan. And I just feel like you felt like you were forsaken by your protectors. So you just sort of went over the deep end and just like wreaked havoc until it came. They had to like, not they, but somebody caught you, or you got caught in war or whatever, and you got locked up, and then that was the end. I'm not super good at geography either, Kelly, but that's sort of what I feel. And the thing is I felt like there is a lot of heart energy here, right? Even though this is the broken heart, and then we have the heart chakra up here. We even have this hug token, right, which speaks to this idea of love. But this laying across, it feels like it's blocking it out. Like it's like, nope. You guys, it's been over an hour, so I'm not going to take anybody else. If you guys want to, you can always send payment for next Sunday and reserve a spot. But I'm not going to stay on all night doing charms. Is Jen Nichols here? That's what I want to know. Because Jen was here earlier. So if Jen Nichols is still here, I would like to do her charming because she's one of my Patreon subscribers. Okay, Jen is here. All right, perfect. So that is your charming, Kelly. I hope it makes sense. Jen, do you have a topic that you want me to do your charming on? Because I'm counting for Jen, and then once I do Jen, I don't know if I want anybody else to like slide in and pay right now. If you guys want to pay for next Sunday, you certainly are more than welcome to, and you can reserve a spot for next Sunday. Yeah, you can just send over payment, and then if you send it over here, I can give you here's the link. If you use that link any point this week, you can send over $25 and just say it's for Sunday Charming and then the date or whatever, and then that way I have you, I'll be on Sunday night. And that way there's reservations and it makes it, you know. Oh, Jen wants love. Okay. I see that. All right, let's see. Oh, wow, it's a veritable shit show, Jen. I'm just kidding. All right, so let's see. We've got an E. We've got a V. Oh, this is a lot of charms. This is crazy. This even feels confused. Let me see here. All right, so I'm going to say this. We have the rubber snake on top of all of it, first and foremost. So I'm going to say that there's a lot of stuff going on in your head that might be pulling your attention. Oh, you have E, V, and E, which is number 6, right? 6s aren't necessarily bad, per se. 5s and 7s are more about choice and change. 6 to me can be about charity. It can be about a little bit about abundance. And we have the word Eve. I don't know what that means. But we have this rubber snake. And to me, this feels like it is something that's definitely annoying at the very least. It's a little bit bothersome, negative, in our space, in our head, weaving around. So I'm going to remove the snake and just set him to the side for a moment as we look at everything else. So we've got the family charm. That's a big part of all of this. It's sort of upside down and face down in the center. A lot of these things are sort of upside down and face down, and that's kind of fine. I feel like this might be the husband here. He's face up and he's kind of from the past coming into the now. He's a little bit sideways, right? And what is he resting on? He is resting on a charm that says believe. I don't know if he's asking you to believe in him or have faith in him. I don't know if you're trying to have faith in him. But the believe charm he's laying like perfectly on it. I think that's sort of interesting. I think he's a main focal point, and then the family is another focal point, obviously. But it would be to me that, like, how do I want to say this? I feel like if he doesn't muster up and do what he's saying he's going to do, then we have to take and deal with this charm. Then we have to, like, look at this charm. I want to see what this yellow charm is underneath all of this really quick. So this is the dwell on the good things and all good things will come to you. I'm going to put this upright just because I think that that's a good energy to have in the center of this charming. I just think right now for you it's hard. And the reason why I laugh is I think that it's hard for you to dwell on those things because there's so much going on in here, right? There's so much sort of like, I feel like maybe stressors going on. I don't even know if they're all just stressors. They might be stressors from all areas of life, not just in the love department. But I feel like he's in here and I feel like he's promising me something or saying, oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And then he's not really taking care of it. He might be relaxing, not relaxing too much, but like not putting in as much effort as I would want him to. That's sort of the feeling that I'm getting from him. And it's sort of like, I got to trust him. And he's sitting right in the middle of it saying, oh yeah, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. And then he's not doing it. And I'm like, fuck, I've got enough over here with the kids. Like, can you please do what you say you're going to do? That's kind of, the feeling that I get from that charm. And on top of all of this, it's like all of these like things are winding around in my head, like just driving me nuts. All right, so we also have next to him the big transformation, which is upside down and face down, the big butterfly, right? And to me, this is about like transforming the situation and wanting to believe that it will be transformed, but we're waiting on him. We're like, come on, get it together, bud. Get it together. We do have that symbol for Aquarius. Again, I don't know if there's a significant Aquarius. We have 2 keys, and we have the Gemini symbol in the past. So a lot of air energy, a lot of thinking, maybe overthinking. If neither of you are air signs, that would definitely be the element of air going on in this. The keys to me also feel like there might be, the significance of the keys could be like, how do I want to put this? Maybe locking ourselves off from certain aspects of all of this, or trying to shut ourselves down, trying to close doors, or shut things. Keeping ourselves safe is sort of another feeling that I get from these keys. Right now, it's interesting. I sort of feel, and you always get this charm every time I do love readings for you. You get that couple intertwined, I feel like, Jen. And it's right next to one of the sexy coins, too. So there is this sex thing happening here. All right, so let me look at this down here in the bottom. So we have the 6th chakra, the clear quartz, which is the 3rd eye. And this is sitting down at the bottom as sort of the foundation for all of this. And there's something intuitively that you're hearing, that you're knowing, that you're tapping into, and you're either not trusting or you're not listening to it. That's why it's flipped over. And I feel like it's also next to the big listen, which to me is like spirit trying to get our attention, or our own spirit. Sometimes it can be trying to get our attention, like whispering in our ear, listen to the shell. And we have the swan underneath all of this too, which is grace, right? But this is blocking that to a degree, right? Like it's like we're not listening to our own internal voice. We're not, I'm not saying we're not doing it, but it's like hard to listen to our own internal voice. And what I think is going on here is that we're sort of waiting on promises that are being supplied over here, and we're like having hope. There's like this hope that they will be delivered, but until they are delivered and we expect the situation to transform, we're not able to sort of trust our own intuition. Does that make sense? Like I almost feel like intuitively we may know that he may not deliver, but like, how do I want to say this? I kind of feel like, do we really need him to deliver, Jen? Like, that's the feeling. Because you have the horse, which is personal power up in the higher mind, which to me also feels like it's being postponed. You have the knowledge, which is the book, which is upright in the higher mind, which says that you know what you know and you know what you need to do. Or, like, you're clear on what you need to do. You have the knowledge base to successfully navigate whatever's going on. Then you also have these 2 sort of sexually charged charms right next to one another. Let me see what sign this is. Is this Libra again? It is the Libra charm. So again, Libra is that the other air sign? It is. Is it not? Yeah, it is. So you have all 3 air signs. What the fuck is going on here? Okay. We have the guardian angel underneath here, but the guardian angel is face up but upside down. And then the unicorn, which is our own personal magic. I do like that this unicorn's trying to like break free and charge off into the future, but I think this is your flight or fight response, Jen. And I feel like this isn't the answer either. Like charging off on our unicorns into the future by ourselves will not really fix this problem. I'm going to do a little charm magic, Jen. Can I do that? I'm just going to move the charms around the board on the way that I want to see them, okay? And that, we're going to sort of shift the energy of these charms a little bit. So what I want to do is I want to take this clear intuition, because we have it. This being present on the board, flipped over like this, says to me that you have clear intuition. Your intuition is strong as shit. Like when you're on it, you're on it. So I'm going to put this right on the borderline of your subconscious. And you also have the wonderful journeys ahead in the future on a clear charm down in the subconscious, similar to what we saw in, was it not Kelly's, but the Teresa's reading. So to me, this also speaks to this idea that you can create something from deep within you if you're not listening to the sort of the rubber snakes and the negativity, right? And the chaos. So I want to put this here because I like that this is here. I love that this is intuitive. I love that it's clear, and I love that it's sort of the basis and where you're trying to find your foundation. Right? Even though it's flipped over, you are trying to find your foundation. And then I'm going to take this swan, because I love where this swan is placed, and we're going to just upright him, because he represents grace and beauty, like, and that sort of love of family. Swans can be highly protective too. And so I like that. And I also like that we have the big listen here, but I'm going to turn the big listen around that way. It's more empowered, it's more stable, and I feel like it's us listening to ourselves versus outside voices or other rubber snakes that might be haunting us, right? Now, all of this air energy, what do I want to do with all of this air energy? I want this Gemini charm, this Aquarius charm, and Libra. I like Libra being so sexy, but I'm going to take them and set them on the side for a moment. And I love this, so I want to leave this. I'm going to do this. We're going to put personal power upright in the higher mind, on dwell on all good things. We're going to put the family there. Dead in the center, because I love that the family is a high priority to you. It feels a little wonky or off and a little bit worrisome when it was in the other position, tilted face down, upside down. So I want to put them in that way and that focus of good things coming to us. Yellow is also a very intellectual color, which matches all of this air energy that I feel is in these three astrological charms. I want to put this guy right here for a minute, and I want to take him off of your belief. I want to put believe here because I want to believe in us and what he does. Let's move transformation up to here because we can transform this situation. Good for one hug, I like. I want to leave that in there. I know this sounds goofy, but I'm doing it, so just let me do it. I'm going to bring this key down here because this is more of a balance thing between the two keys, because I'm not exactly sure what the keys are. I feel like it could be you locking yourself off or shutting yourself off in some way, shape, or form. So I like that they're on this further side, which is more like heading towards the past. Maybe it could be significant of opening doors, but I also like that there's a balance there. I'm going to leave him here on the outside because he needs to show up, and I'm going to put him upright so he's standing up. We're going to work a little magic on him, and he's going to deliver. We're going to make him make good on his promises. So I want to bring this guardian angel charm in upright. We need to let this guardian angel in and let them heal some of this. And we're going to bring this magic, and instead of running away, we're going to have this unicorn touch that guardian angel, and his little magic horn is going to charge up the belief and the big listen and all of this, right? I love that we have the book of knowledge up here, or the awareness, the smarts, the intelligence to handle all of this. I'm going to leave that exactly where it is in both the higher mind and the conscious mind. And I want to leave this couple because I feel like they're okay. Like there is this bond here that I think carries into the future, and I like that that's there. And then we have this man here. This is just a milagro of a man's head, but he represents sort of I'm going to leave this here. Jen, I'll message you off on the side about this later, because I want to ask you a question about what I think this charm is. So I'll leave that between you and I later. And then I'm going to, what do I want to do with these air signs? I want to put this rubber snake back in the box. We're going to let that go. We don't even need that on the charm board. And I feel like this is still a lot of charms. I want to let go of all of this air energy, if that's okay. I just feel like it's too much thinking. I know that you need to think because you're sort of the center of all of this. I just feel like you have so much, even with all of this in here, I feel like it's a lot right now for you. I feel like there's a lot, even with this feels more organized and more like centered and balanced amidst a whole lot of stuff swirling around for you in the love department. And I don't know that asking you not to think about it, right, with these three air signs is even possible. Hi, Dorothy Baxter. How are you? Hi, Chile. How are you? So I think that we're going to leave these on the side here because we want to set some of this stuff aside, right? I think that there's a lot of room for possibility in all of these charms too, and all of these charms are really strong and good. Let me see, what else do I want to know? Let me just message you right now. Let me message you offline 1 second. Where are you? I'm going to message you on Facebook really quick, Jen. I just want to ask you a quick question. Okay, so then that's what I was wondering about this was, if there was something there. But there's not. I think this is a new version of this. Whatever this is, we want to leave him in the past. And I think that there's a new version that's kind of going into the future that we can possibly trust, if that makes sense. Wait, what's that you say? Oh, I see what you mean. I understand what you just said to me, Jen. Okay. So I feel like this could be a new version of this gentleman at a certain point, but you have to clear away a lot of this stuff. Not clear it away. How do I want to say this? Because I don't think you need to clear this stuff away. I think that what we want you to do is we want you to kind of relax a little bit, is my feeling. Getting clear, knowing that you have these wonderful attributes around you, then you can kind of relax it, and they can almost sort of like relax into the background, and you can feel like you have less going on, or less to sort of manage, monitor, that kind of a thing. Does that make sense? There's a lot of strength here. I mean, you have the horse and you have the unicorn. You have the big listen. You have the big transformation. You have two keys. You have two equine animals. You've got two clear charms. You've got a fair amount of clarity. You can create this clarity for yourself. You have two sex charms, right? You've got this sex magic, Jen. You've got this charm plus the Libra coin is a very sexy charm. I think that, where else are there parallels? And then you have 3 air signs, all 3 of the air signs represented. So you have a lot of like kind of power stuff in a weird way. I just think that it's all sort of overwhelming you. And then when you have that rubber snake swirling around all of it, it's like, which one do I listen to? Which one do I trust? Yourself is the one you want to listen to, is the one you want to trust and ground in, right? Your own intuition. And if he's doing things right now that maybe are like not really quite delivering, or you're waiting on him to deliver so that the situation can transform, that's probably a trap of some point or some part. So to have it transform, you need to transform your relationship to it. Let him off the hook for a minute, let your mind off the hook, and look at all of the things that you sort of have going for you. Because you really do have a lot going for you. I think that makes sense. I hope, and I think this wonderful journey as I head down in the subconscious, I didn't even have to move this. I like where this is placed because this is very clear, it's upright, it's in the future. It's the most in the future charm. So it means that things are going to get better or heading towards something better. Just right now, you're in a little bit of a overwhelming spot with all of these charms. So now that we've kind of positioned them and looked at them for what you have, because you got to remember that because they're on the board, that means that their power, both positively or negatively, is present, right? And so maybe these things weren't being accessed, or they were getting in your way or overwhelming you, but really when we start to set them up and put them in a position of where we start to see them from a place of, oh, I have the keys to sort of transform this situation, then you can. To be honest, you're actually stronger than him. You don't need him. I'm not saying that you need to leave him. What I'm saying is that all of these charts speak to this idea that I feel like you handle more than you even realize, than you give yourself credit for, kind of thing. You're welcome, Jen. Jaden, it was a reading for a friend of mine who subscribes to the Patreon page, and it was a love question, just a general love reading. Yeah, that would definitely be true. Because even with all of the benefit of all of these charms right now in this position, there's still a lot going on, and so a lot of this would be, if we believe that it's there, then all of a sudden belief can fall away. And the strength of our belief, all of this stuff that we have going for us, we can sort of like just know that it's there, and then all of a sudden, like, we know that we're smart and that we have the knowledge to navigate situations. Boom, this kind of like, we just allow it to be there, it can kind of dissipate. Do you see what I'm saying? And these can kind of strip away, and you can get back to the basics or the clarity of this wonderful journey coming. And you don't lose this charm, right? You just lose sort of the compactness or the intensity of so much going on around you right now. Have a good night, dear. Thank you, Jen. Thank you so much to my Patreon subscribers, all of you. I'm trying to get everything done for the first of the month. I got to do all my, I haven't done any of the tarot scopes. Ugh, I'm just so wiped out. It's crazy. All I want to do is sleep. This is the world we live in. So that's it for tonight, I think, guys. Thank you so much to the people that bought Charmings. I really appreciate it. I love when I make a little bit of money when I get on. It's great. It helps me to feed myself and my babies. And thank you to my Patreon subscribers, because I make money there too. So I appreciate those of you that subscribe, all of you, even those that don't subscribe at the highest level for the free Charmings, but those that just, subscribe at any level. It's great. So I will be back on next Sunday for more Charmings. I might do a card night sometime this week. We'll see. I got so much I need to do. I might be lying about that. I'm just going to be honest. I need to do the tarot scopes. I need to do the Archangel reading and the Cupid's Love reading. I need to do the Twin Flame thing. I didn't do it today because I was in class all day yesterday. Then I did a 2-hour class today, and I forgot that it was Sunday. It is what it is. All right, so I will see you guys soon. I'm also available for private readings if anybody's interested. You can contact me through the business page if you feel so inclined. And please share me out with your friends. Tell your friends about me. Tell your cats about me. Tell whoever you want about me. Let people know. Like the business page. For those of you that are new, I greatly appreciate it. Please come back. Don't worry, I am usually more entertaining. Oh, Jaden, you would go to patreon.com and then look up Engelgeist, and there's different levels. For the highest level, which is $33.33 a month, you get, there's a series of 3 free readings over there, plus you get the daily reading a day early, and you get a free Charming each month. And then when I fill that up, when I get to 20, because I'm only taking 20 people at that level, when I get to 20 people at that level, I'll probably start doing a tarot class with that group on like Zoom. or some sort of, maybe I'll do a charming class or teach people how to charm if they want to learn. I mean, it's, whatever they want to learn, I'll give them what they want. Give the people what they want, damn it. But the lowest level you can support at the lowest level is $3.33, which is just for the daily forecast. You get it a day early over on Patreon. And the daily forecast, for those of you that don't know, I have a daily forecast that's just for the greater collective, that it applies to everyone. It's sort of like the universal energy that's flowing around that we can either jump on or be aware of if it's something that's maybe lurking, that's negative or heavy, which we've been kind of going through some heavy stuff of recent in the cards, and then certainly not feeling it. But what was I going to say? That is available to you a day early also on Patreon at the lowest level. And it's just a way to support what I do, if you like what I do, kind of thing. So there's that, and that's it. Or you can always just book a reading with me or whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. This is what I do for work at this point. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and your attention. I appreciate it. I know that there's many airlines you could be flying, and we thank you for choosing us. I'm gonna go make some dinner. I'm like out of it. The last few days, like I forgot to post yesterday's reading. Jen had to point it out to me. I didn't post it early on the Patreon page. I totally spaced it. And then I noticed that I didn't do the title right. I had to change the title. I didn't even put the title in. And then I think the day before, Karen pointed out to me that I didn't light my candle, which I always light the candle every morning before starting the reading. I've been a mess. Well, not a mess, but like just sort of like out of it. Like I literally feel like I'm walking through a haze. I did get 2 new bags of runes. So I might start doing runes readings too. I need to learn them, because runes are a whole nother bag of tricks. But I have 2 bags of runes, so that'll be interesting, and we might have to play with that at some point one night, just to sort of figure it out. Because there's stuff in there, like there's one rune that's called cattle. Get it? Cattle. But it just represents like wealth. So, or abundance, I believe. Because back when people were throwing runes, cattle was very much high in demand. So, it was worth probably more than gold. So yeah. Isn't that from like ancient times? Yes, kind of like me, Kelly. I'm an old lady. I've told you that a million times. So, yeah, so that's that. I'm going to try and get caught up on everything I'm supposed to be doing in the next few days. It's funny, like, when I procrastinate and then it gets close to it, I just never want to do it. It almost makes me want to procrastinate more. But, whatever. Alright, guys. I will talk to you later. I'm gonna go to bed. I mean, not to bed, but like to my room. Oh, thanks, Melinda. You like that I share about how I'm lazy? That's good. No, I don't know. This month kind of got away from me. I'm not sure what happened. I think I'm just overwhelmed with all of the weird shit going on in the world. I just want to crawl into a hole and wake up and all be... I don't know that normal is necessarily what I want either. Like, I don't know that it was so great, 6 months ago. Let's just be honest. It was what I was used to, let's say that. So I'm just hoping that we get to a place where I can feel like I've adapted to what's going on in the world. It's just weird, like the last few times, like yesterday. Was it yesterday? I don't even remember. Like days blend together. That's the weird thing. I had to, mask up to go out and all that sort of stuff. It's just weird. It's just so different. Like you're not allowed into stores without a mask. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't wear a mask. I think everybody should. It's just a weird, surreal reality that I don't think is going to change anytime soon. And then people are fighting about it. It's my patriotic right to not wear a mask. Okay, well then let's next time you have surgery, we'll let the doctor know that, I just don't understand people that are like want to make it about their rights, their patriotic rights, when they can't like understand that the reason why people wear masks in surgery is to stop the discharge of disease, the transference of disease, to not cross-contaminate. Those masks don't work. They infringe on my constitutional rights. No, bitch. Those masks keep Billy safe because he's behind the counter at Walmart for $10 an hour so that you can get your Dr. Pepper. Shut up and put a mask on. That's kind of how I feel. Do it for Billy. Put your rights aside for a minute and protect Billy and Patty and Susan, Barbara, Janice, however many people there are out there. Alright, you guys, I'm gonna go. Because we all deserve to protect. Be safe. Alright. Nope, it's BS. They say no, it's serious. I just feel like if you can't do it for somebody else's protection, I mean, that's the only reason why I wear it. It's just not necessarily to keep myself safe, it's to keep other people safe. Because, I mean, I would keep myself safe. I want to keep myself safe. But the main reason why I wear a mask is because I don't know, who has it, or if I could get it, or if I have it, I wouldn't want to give it to anybody. But when you get into this thing about, well, it's about my constitutional rights, and that makes it sound like your rights are more important than the possibility that you could get everybody within 6 feet of you infected and be ignorant to it, and you want to fight for that ignorant opportunity. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's not like human on any level, It's selfish. So those sort of things, I mean, those things like take a toll on me. Like when I watch people like talk about that sort of stuff and actually argue that sort of stuff, it's not only is it tiresome, it's beleaguering. To me, it makes me sad. Like at a very profound level, it makes me wonder, like, are we really evolving as a human race, or are we not? Are we devolving? I want to believe that we're evolving. I want to believe that we're growing. I want to believe that we're aspiring to greater. But when we're all fighting over who has the right to protest and who has the right to wear a mask and all of these stupid, fucking, frivolous things about which lives matter and which lives don't. Black lives don't matter. All lives matter, but blue lives matter. But no, black lives don't matter, but blue lives do. Like, shut up. Just shut up and do the right thing. And search your heart really deeply for what the right thing is. And if that right thing is to not wear a mask, then you need to search your heart a little bit more. That's just my feeling. Like, I can't believe people can't get around it. If you can't, like, be comfortable with the idea of somebody saying Black Lives Matter and it just being about black people for a minute, something's wrong. I don't know, that's just my feeling. Because I think once we're able to say Black Lives do matter and then do something about it, then we get to say Brown Lives Matter, Beige Lives Matter, Pink Lives Matter, and then we get to that point of all lives matter. Because it's no longer an issue. But we're not there yet. We're not at all lives matter. And it's funny to me because it's all these white people that want to be at all lives matter. They're like, oh, I don't see color. Come on, Becky. Don't lie to me, bitch. Anyways, alright. Heinz 15 Weapons Matters. Your rights versus my life go down. Well, it's just sort of funny to me because it's like, step out of your own way for a minute and like let go of your like right. It's not even about rights, it's about courteous, like courtesy. Like, that's what I don't get, is it's just like common courtesy would dictate that because so many people can be asymptomatic with this potential disease, they could be carriers and not know it. Therefore, you should just wear a mask just to protect others over your own constitutional rights. Your other Americans. Like, if more of us treated each other kindly in that way, with more respect, I think we wouldn't even be dealing with some of this bullshit. But we can't get out from underneath our own bullshit to do that. And so I just don't know what it's going to be. I went to Walmart this morning and I was all masked up and I was watching people be refused at the door and they were copping attitudes with the people at Walmart. that really don't care. They're like the people at Walmart just they're being paid to tell you not to come in, and they're not trying to ruin your day. It's I don't know. It's weird. It's the world we live in, and I'm just not okay with it in some regards, and it just makes me tired. I just pray for everybody that it's going to get better, that people will get better, that people will realize that we share this planet with each other, with the plants and animals that are on this planet, with the people that are on this planet. You know, we need to like be caretakers of all of it, including ourselves. And caretaking for ourselves is not like talking about our constitutional rights over whether or not we're wearing a mask. When your fear affects my rights, shut up. Your fear affected, I mean, this is the gig. Let's just bust it down. Let's go back to the civil rights era and before. Your fear as a white man is what dictated all the bullshit that white men did to black people for years. That was all white fucking fear and panic. And a need to control African Americans. And now we're gonna fucking pull it around a mask? It's just so fucking ignorant. Anyways, I don't know, I shouldn't probably be talking about this on a public forum. But to me, it's funny when it suits you. Your fear is okay and should be allowed to be displayed, and you know, other people should have to kowtow to it. But God forbid you should wear a mask. I don't know. I believe that hopefully the light will shine on everybody, and we'll all get to see ourselves for who we truly are, good or bad, and then do the work that we need to do to make the adjustments that we need to make. That's my hope and prayer for everyone. And I don't mean that in any bad or malicious way. I just mean that hopefully we can all see ourselves for who we truly are, own that, and then change that if we see fit. If there's something better that we can aspire to, that we aspire to that. That's all. And that way, maybe I can like look at the world and not like shake my head. All right, you guys. I love you all. I will talk to you, even if you're non-mask wearing, you know, people. I love you too. But wear the mask for Billy, for fuck's sake. That's the thing. Like, I mean, I'm gonna let this go in a minute. But these people are not even being paid a lot of money to be at Walmart waiting on us. They're risking their health so that we can make sure that we get our needs met. And then you don't even have the decency or the kindness to just put the mask on in favor of them, and they're being paid minimum wage by the Walton family. You know, it's like, come on. You know, and they're doing that because they have to make their ends meet. You know, they don't have a choice. If they don't go to work at Walmart, they're not going to work. They're not going to pay their bills. They're not going to feed their kids. And then if you get them sick, then it's your constitutional rights over them feeding their fucking kids? Like, really? I watched some video, this is the stuff like this, why I can't even do Facebook anymore. I watched this video where this woman was calling this woman Chinky Chinky, go back to China, and I was like, are you like in 3rd grade? I mean, that's like some seriously, like, that's not even racist, it's just like 3rd grade behavior. I mean, it is racist, but it's like a mentality of a 3rd grader, and you're like, probably she was like in her 50s or 60s. That's just disgusting to me. It's really gross in today's world that people are actually fighting for this stuff and lashing out the way that they're lashing out. When amidst a pandemic, you know? I knew something was wrong when they all ran for toilet paper. I think it's a giant statement for who we might be as a people, as a human race. We might just be a bunch of assholes. If that was your first thought, was tending to your butthole. I don't know. Anyways, that's it. Hopefully I will get back lined up and feel okay again soon. I'm gonna go cuddle with my dogs. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Bye.